I'm Mandy with Sugar Bee Crafts, and today we're going to talk about heat transfer vinyl. It's one of my favorite things to craft with. I use my Silhouette Cameo to cut the vinyl, and then I use it mostly for t-shirts. That's my favorite thing to use it on, but I've also used it on pillows and bags and other projects that involve fabric. I love it because you're able to customize whatever you're making and really give it that personal touch. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do a heat transfer vinyl project in case you've ever been scared or hesitant to use heat transfer vinyl. It's so easy, and you can do it at home with your home iron. That's all you're going to need. So we're going to do a zipper pouch, and we're going to take it from this with the vinyl, weed out our vinyl, and then turn it into a really cute bag that you can put stuff in. That's what we're going to talk about today. Go ahead and get started on how to use heat transfer vinyl. I've already cut the vinyl that we're going to use with my Silhouette. When you cut it, this is the piece of vinyl, you are going to want to cut it on the back side. So that's really important. There's two sides to your vinyl. One is shiny and one is dull. The dull is the back. And so if you are doing an image that has words on it or something that's directional, you're going to need to mirror your image because we're cutting out of the back. For example, this one's already been weeded. You can see that it says crafty, but we actually cut it this way, backwards from the back, and so that's why it needs to be mirrored. You got to cut from the back. Okay, when you cut, you're going to want to set your settings to where you cut through the vinyl, which is the color, but not the carrier sheet, which is this clear kind of sticky sheet that's holding the vinyl to it. Okay, so those are your settings. So I'm going to show you how we weed out the vinyl, which is basically taking the background out and leaving your image. Then how we're going to put that image on a fun zipper tote like this one. You can use a tool like a vinyl removing tool, or you can just use a straight pin, which is kind of my favorite thing to use. You're going to peel up a corner, and you're going to weed out the excess vinyl. Just slowly peel it away, and it should release from the carrier sheet. And you're going to leave behind what you want your image to be. After you have the exterior weeded out, you're going to want to use those weeding tools to pick out the insides of your letters. Okay, so we weeded from the back, which meant we were looking at it backwards, but when you flip it over, you can see that it says stuff. We are going to put that right onto the bag. There are heat presses out there, but a lot of people at home can just use an iron, and it's totally doable. So we're going to iron it on. Some things to remember is that it's more of a pressing and less of an ironing. So let's go ahead and get the iron out, and we'll go ahead and jump into that part of the project. Okay, so we're ready with our image that we've already weeded and our project that we're going to put it on, this fabric zipper bag. My bag has plastic inside of it, and so I have this pressing pillow, which is going to help the insides not melt together, if that makes sense. We're going to put it in there, and then the insides won't melt. Okay, so I will go ahead and put my pressing pillow into my bag. That way it won't stick together. Next, you're going to take your vinyl, you're going to put it on the project where you would like it to go. Now, you're going to get your iron out. You're going to want it to be set between cotton and wool. Just not on the highest setting, but kind of high, I guess. You can do some trial and error. This clear carrier sheet is made to be able to just iron directly onto. You can just press right onto it. If that makes you nervous about using your iron directly onto that carrier sheet, You can also just use a scrap piece of fabric in between the carrier sheet and your iron. I have my iron plugged into the left. Okay, so you can either do it that way or you can do it this way. You'll know your iron's too hot if your carrier sheet starts to kind of crunch. So this is the biggest part about ironing heat transfer vinyl. It's less of ironing and more of pressing. So you're gonna get your project and you're just gonna press. And you're gonna wanna press for a good 15 seconds. It'll start to adhere and stick to your project at about 8 seconds, but you're gonna wanna keep pressing. Really get the vinyl to melt into the fibers of your project. And it's just a good pressure. You don't want it to stick and then you wash it and it come up. You want it to be able to really adhere and attach to your project. So you're gonna push it for 15 seconds. And then if you're doing a large project, you'll push one area for 15 seconds, move to the next area for 15 seconds. Okay, after you do that, you will be able, okay, so this is pushed and ready, and you will be able to peel off the carrier sheet and it will leave behind your design. Okay, we'll take that pillow out. You can see how it turned out, really awesome. It says stuff, and that is all there is to heat transfer vinyl. It's easier than you think. You're just gonna cut it, weed it, and press it onto your project. Some things to remember: some vinyl is hot peel and some vinyl is cool peel, and that's just when you can pull your carrier sheet off. Another thing to remember is layering. There's lots of different types of heat transfer vinyl, including glitter and flocked vinyl, which is like fuzzy, and you can layer regular vinyl on top of regular vinyl, but you can't layer on top of glitter or flocked. So if you think in your mind that glitter and flocked both have things on top, it's not a smooth surface, so it would be hard to stick something to it. So you can't layer on top of glitter or flocked, but you can take glitter and flocked and layer it on top of smooth, and that would work great. Some examples of things that you can make with heat transfer vinyl, like t-shirts and pillows and blankets. Anything that you can imagine that goes on fabric can take heat transfer vinyl. Zipper pouches. Thanks for joining me today for a quick tutorial on how to adhere heat transfer vinyl to a project. So to recap, you're going to cut your vinyl, weed it, put it on your project, press for 15 seconds, and peel back the carrier sheet. That's all there is to it.